Yeah, this is UncleTboxing, and I had to come back again with Gordon. You know, he he had predictions all last week, and everything was accurate. Well done for that, man. I
My
should
guy.
have got to the bookies.
My guy. It was one of them. It was one of them shows, though, wasn't it?
Yeah,
It was
yeah.
one of them shows. But
Yeah.
bar the rounds, yeah, pretty much spot on. But let's see this weekend because it's a lot tougher to call this weekend.
You do know your stuff. Well, we talk about tougher to call. Let's start from like an American show, Canelo. Is that a tough call to call for you? Canelo against
No,
Kovalev.
well, you know, I would say, you know, I fancy Canelo. I think everybody fancies Canelo. I mean, I don't know what the bookies odds are like, but seems like everybody's got it as a foregone conclusion. I think, you know, people are forgetting about the step up he's taking. Obviously, Kovalev, he may be aging, and he may be the worst of the champions within that division. And perhaps he is looking at this fight as a checkout fight in terms of the money and what have you. But he's still dangerous for, you know, for 4 rounds, I would say. On the other side, I think Canelo has the tools to, you know, to hurt him. You know, Kovalev in terms of his body, he's shown a lot of weakness. You know, in terms of taking body shots and inside work, and we all know Canelo on the inside, especially if he is stronger, which he should be going up. You would expect Canelo to be too much for him. I'd expect Canelo to win by a knockout. I mean, I said yesterday to you 6, but I'm now going to change my prediction. I'm going to make it, I think, around 8 to 10. It's for me, it's just how it's going to go in the first four rounds. Because we're all wondering how Kovalev is going to take Canelo's body shots. But how's Canelo going to take Kovalev's 1-2-1s? Because obviously he's very strong, and when he's on it and disciplined, he's very good within the first part of the fight. But for me, Canelo win, Canelo knockout. I think his body work will be too much, and I think, you know, if you get into the latter parts of the fight, you know, sort of 7 to 10, well, mid to latter rather, I think that Kovalev will start to fade and it will be too much. But I mean, saying that, Canelo's been building up muscle for this fight. Is that going to be an issue?
That's another thing, because sometimes during the rest of them, towards the end of, he dies out a little bit. He hasn't got the biggest of engines, Canelo. So to have that extra mass and trying to do that, and if he goes to 12 rounds and that, and that's not the main thing. Like you said, the 1-2-1 of Kovalev, he's got world class jab.
He does.
I mean, so what would be interesting for me would see how Canelo tries to negate all that jab. And like you said, Kovalev, he's got extensive amateur career. He's boxed well when he had to come back to rematch Elder Alvarez. He showed his boxing ability.
It was
when he had to box
perfect performance.
Yeah, when he had to box Bernard Hopkins, who was going to try and old man him, he showed his thing, and he's still got a powerful He's got heavy hands.
Definitely.
I mean, so we don't know how Canelo could take it.
Definitely. What's the reach difference? Do you know what's?
I don't know, but I imagine
It's going to be substantial, isn't it?
Yeah,
It's going to be.
yeah.
So it's how does he get inside? And once he does get inside, how much damage can he do quickly? And also, you know, Kovalev, how's he going to take his shots? You know, is the fact that Canelo coming up, will he look as powerful? You know, because, you know, that division is packed full of like very, very strong punchers. Even, you know, Anthony Yard the other day, obviously he wasn't ready for that in my opinion. He did very well, but you know, I would say Anthony Yard potentially has a harder punch than Canelo, obviously with the size. You know, but I think for me the body work will be too much. Canelo win. I would say Canelo win 100. Well, not 100%, but I'm pretty sure. And I'd expect it to be via knockout or you know the referee stepping in.
I've been speaking to a lot of people, like fight fans, not even just boxing fans, and I've been like trying to discuss with them with Canelo and Kovalev and that, but they was like, that's not the main thing. I was like, no way. I was like, what do you mean? talking about the UFC, there's a bigger card in America around the same time.
100%.
Really?
100%.
Who's fighting?
It's Nate Diaz versus Masvidal for the bad motherfucker belt.
I've heard of that Masvidal. Is that the guy that came to London and gave someone?
Yeah. Leon Edwards. You give him the 2-piece and the soda. He walks past him, giving him a little bit of lip.
Yeah.
Follows him round, and then just hits him with the 1, 2, 3. He knocked out Till in Liverpool.
The Liverpool guy.
He did his last fight, the fastest knockout in UFC history against Ben Askren, flying knee within
that thing did the
7 seconds.
Wow. Do you think he meant to do that?
100%, because Askren, he's like a world-class wrestler, so he knew that he was gonna. Well, there's a very high chance he was gonna shoot for a takedown the moment the fight started, because obviously that's where he would be able to use his wrestling and drain his energy and what have you. So when he come flying in for that for the takedown, he just met a fucking knee, and Jesus, it was brutal because he was out straight away, and then he comes with the big old bum like. Then you've got Nate Diaz came back after a 3-year layoff in his last fight against Anthony Pettis.
Why is that?
He just has politics with the UFC, and I think he made a lot of money off fighting Conor McGregor. He didn't need to.
Red panties.
But that is, look, I'm a big UFC fan, although I haven't been over recent years. Yeah. And for me, this is the most anticipated fight in a long time. Not only the event, the belt, it really is for me the baddest motherfucker title.
Is that belt? Is that just a made up belt?
So it's a made up belt. Okay. But
so it's that big they have to make up the belt.
It fits for these two because they are bad motherfuckers. In terms of how I think that fight's going to go, mate, I couldn't predict. I can't, I wouldn't say either way. I can see reasons why Masvidal could win and Nate Diaz. I think Masvidal hits harder. They're both very, very good boxers. I think Masvidal holds more power and sets up traps better. But I think Nate is just relentless. Nate Diaz sets a pace which people can't keep up with. And then, maybe... Remember, this is a 5-round fight. Yeah. So if this starts hitting 3 to 4 rounds, and he's with that relentless tap, 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 bang, like that relentless boxing, Nate Diaz could do it. Also, in terms of ground game, Nate Diaz is jiu-jitsu. I mean, I was showing you videos last night. It's ridiculous. But I think in terms of being more rounded with the kicks, at all aspects of UFC, MMA rather, I would say Masvidal potentially edges it. He's been more active. So it really is fitting that it's pretty much a 50-50 fight. Usually with big main events like this, you don't know who's going to win. You do know who's going to win. Yeah. It's like Canelo, Kovalev. Yeah. Everyone expects Canelo to win. There might be a few people who think Kovalev. Nate Diaz, Masvidal, no idea. Yeah. And as I said to you the other day, when you asked on your Insta story, is this really a bigger fight? This will do over 1 million buys. I mean, I think there's been about 10 UFC shows which have done over 1 million. I think Nate's been involved in 2 or 3 of those.
Because of Conor.
Because of Conor and because of him and his brother's reputation. I mean, he is the most popular American fighter, without a doubt. Now Conor's not involved, or certainly isn't at the moment. He is the biggest star in UFC. So this will do. I'd bet you money now. This does over 1 million buys. Now we'll cover.
It's not pay per view.
It is pay per view. Not here, but in America. And you got to remember, in America, their pay per views are like $100, and it's doing I predict it would do over 1 million.
Oh, the money doesn't go to them; though. It goes to Dana, doesn't it? Or does it?
I think. Well, they get I don't know. They'll get $500,000, $1 million, or what have you, as a main fee. But I'm sure Nate and Masvidal are getting pay per view points, so they'll be getting. But it's not like boxing where Tyson Fury is getting 15 million or whatever, for fighting some guy people haven't heard of. So it won't be the same kind of money, but. Nate Diaz will be well paid for this, definitely.
And you said something about Masvidal stopped Darren who's also fighting on the card as well.
Yeah.
Who's he fighting?
He's fighting Gastelum.
Okay.
I might be butchering his name a little bit there. He's a beast. He's a middleweight. His last fight, he was fighting the Nigerian guy Stylebender, who just won the belt. He put Stylebender down twice.
You're joking.
He's very heavy-handed. I would say he's very similar to Masvidal, but he's higher in weight. Probably going to punch harder, and obviously more dangerous. So for Till to go up a weight division and to pick him as his first fight, he's got big balls.
Why do you think he's taking the fight?
So just loves fight. He's a fight, as Tyson Fury would say. He's a fighting man. You know, big balls, man.
I take off my hat to these MMA guys. I mean, for you to do that sort of sport, you must love fighting. I mean, boxing, you could, try and find a way, work on defensive thing. For me, anything could happen. Knee kicks, elbows. Oh, Jesus Christ, it's brutal. Takedown, lock, break. Oh,
definitely. Like you see the video we were watching yesterday, where the guy's getting choked out, and it's like, mate, wow. But I'm not discounting Till in that fight. I mean, I think Gastelum will win. I think after Till's last two fights where he's been knocked out, he does have a tendency where he's got such a long reach. He tends to put his arm out and then just lean back and lifts his chin up. So he's very susceptible to overhand punches. But saying that, he hasn't had a weight cut for this. But he won't have had much of a weight cut for this one, where he's gone up to middleweight. He's got a big reach advantage. If he can get things right in terms of, he tends to hesitate a little bit with his punches, I feel. If he can get a few things to click, then you never know. You never know. But I do think it's a big ask to go up a weight division and fight arguably the second most dangerous man in that division, who has got world-class power. So, but two fights on that card, which are well worth watching. Well worth watching.
If it was pay-per-view here, would you pay for it?
100%.
Okay, say no more. 100%. Okay, let's go down to the to Manchester. Let's start from the beginning. The Matchroom. Let's start from the top. Anthony Crolla against
he's not the top. He's not. Katie Taylor's the top.
Let's just say the main reason why people are going to come to Manchester is
Crolla.
So let's start with him. What's the name of the guys?
I'm not even going to try and butcher his name. Spanish guy.
Find out his name on the name.
I tried to pronounce it, mate. I wouldn't even be able to pronounce it. You know what I'm like.
Is it Chris? Is his first name Chris or?
Well, let's just call him Frank.
Frank, yeah, let's call him Frank, yeah. So, Crolla against Frank.
I think it's the perfect sign-out fight for Crolla. The guy has got he hasn't lost a fight yet, but looking at his box rec, he hasn't fought outside Spain. I couldn't see anybody he's fought who...
outside Spain?
Yeah.
I saw he's fought once.
Actually, he has fought once outside Spain. Was it in Switzerland or somewhere like that?
Yeah.
But he certainly hasn't fought in the main European countries like Germany or the UK or places like that. I suspect... he's not going to be anywhere near as good as what his record suggests. Also, he's never knocked anybody out. Looking at his box rec, he's fought a lot of people who've got losing, more losses than wins on their record. Crolla, he's not world class. Obviously, we know that from when he stepped up against Lomachenko or other fighters like. Who was the guy Luke Campbell lost to? Linares. But he did very well against Linares, but that was a couple of years ago. But I think this is your perfect sign-out fight. I expect Crolla to win well. I think it'll be one of those ones where he wins so well, he'll probably look at it afterwards and go, should I retire? Because, like you said yesterday, that, there's a lot of rumours coming out of that gym that he's looking really good. And, it's hard for people to hang up the gloves, but I'm sure he's made enough money to retire. But, a win for Crolla, without a shadow of a doubt.
Okay. Let's go down a little bit more. Katie Taylor.
Katie Taylor.
against Christina.
Yeah, Katie Taylor.
I'm not going to try to name her.
Lenartu, I'm probably butchering that, but so she's gone up a weight division. I'm not sure if for me if I'm going to put that as a bit of a cop out for not rematching Pearsoon, because I think even Katie Taylor probably knows deep down that she lost that fight. But she unified that division, so she's going to go up to fight Lenartu to hopefully be a 2-weight world champion. I don't know a huge amount about Lenartu. I think she's had 1 loss, 13 wins, 1 loss.
Against the deaf win as well, the girl who just fought.
Yeah.
Katie Taylor.
So they both experienced the same, the same.
Well, Katie got her hands raised. So.
Yeah,
she got the lock of the Irish.
But we know why that is. We know why
she
that
got
is.
the lock of the Irish. She's the face of boxing. So,
definitely.
and these sort of close things is probably going to go our way.
Mate, come on! It's in Manchester, Matchroom show.
No, I'm talking about the one in New York.
Oh yeah. Same applies. Same applies. But from the research I've done, I mean, obviously I don't know a huge amount about women's boxing or Lenartu, but she looks like a good come forward fighter. Doesn't have, I don't think she has huge power, but she's a pressure fighter. But you would expect. Now, I really am guessing here, mate, because I haven't really seen a huge amount, from her. But saying that, when Katie Taylor was drawn into a war in her last fight, it didn't go well. Yeah. So, when Lenartu is where she likes to put pressure on, I think Katie Taylor needs to keep it long. Certainly the initial rounds, break her down a bit, and then try and get the knockout if possible.
One thing, I hope Katie Taylor plats her hair, because in the last fight,
once
she's getting knocked up, her hair was just obscuring her vision. So that's one advice I would give to her.
Definitely.
If there's any.
Get your hair plaited.
Get your hair plaited, like the rest,
like whatever,
Like the rest of the girls do. Moving down the middleweights, they're fighting for the Commonwealth title. Felix Cash against Jack Collins. What can you tell me?
Well, obviously, Felix Cash he's got a good reputation in the gyms, and he's got a good amateur record. Looking at Jack Collins' record and the people he's fought, I wasn't overly impressed. But saying that, I've been looking on I don't know, Eddie Hearn's Insta or whoever it may be. Jack Collins seems to have a lot of supporters. There's a lot of people who are backing him. I mean, I don't know enough about him to be able to say, he's like what he's good at or what he's not good at. But
he's quite tall for the weight, but he fights on the inside.
Does he fight?
Yeah, he tries to. Yeah, like.
Was that because he just likes to fight?
I guess so.
Yeah.
Tear up,
but what I think, Felix Cash, obviously he's won the belt. They're going to have to start building him into more of a star. Bigger fights at some point. So you'd like to think that. Well, I think Matchroom will be hoping this is a fight where he can win well on a good Sky Sports show, obviously on TV, and then start building from there. But I think it might be more of a fight than I expect, because, like I said, there's a lot of people online talking about Cullen as if he's no mug, which, from looking at his box rate, I thought it might have been a pretty standard win for Felix, but other people think differently. So yeah, let's see, bro.
There's another girl fighting. She's gonna have her Matchroom debut. She's an IBO champion, Terry Harper. She's gonna fight a girl called Vivian Obinag or something, Brazilian girl. You would know her because she was the one who stopped Natasha.
The Scouse girl. Yeah.
I look forward to seeing what Terry Harper does with that girl.
What a tough fight.
Yeah.
First fight. Well, not first fight, first title fight. Yeah. Or is it a title?
Well, according to the IBO, we all know it, but we don't know. It's different. It might be different for girls.
For women, yeah.
The IBO belt might be more prestige than the WBC.
It's still a belt as well.
Yeah.
It's still a belt.
I mean, WBC, they're taking a piss nowadays. What do you reckon for this franchise?
It's a joke, mate. It's an absolute. It's a joke to boxing.
Yeah.
I mean, I'm actually when I read about it this week, I was like lost for words. I was like,
so confusing.
It's confusing. Everybody, all boxing fans want there to be a a champion of that weight. You know, we don't get. It's very rare to get unified titles nowadays. You know, like say Lomachenko. But you know, say look at the heavyweight division. No hope of there being a unified title anytime soon. You look at the welterweight division. Obviously, with Heyman having majority of the fighters, but then you've got Terence Crawford on the other side of the street. Yeah. It's not going to be unified, and it's just, they've added weight divisions over the years. It's just more money, more corruption, more sanctioning fees, and less chance of us, the fans, seeing the fights we want to see. You know, to pretty much say that, Lomachenko doesn't have to fight as mandatory if he wants to, that's a mockery. So
it's so upsetting because I don't think someone like Lomachenko will try and dock Devin Haney, but that's the narrative they're trying to match him and everything. Like they're trying to make it like Lomachenko is really trying to dock Devin Haney. What do you think?
No. I think Lomachenko will fight anyone. I think he's he'll fight anyone. I think he would want to fight. Well, he's beat Luke Campbell, so arguably the next big fight for him would be Devin Haney.
There's always there's that Teofimo Lopez as well.
Oh yeah.
Which is coming for if he beats Richard Latte, the strong Ghanaian. So it's over to play for. But the only benefit I see from what is happening is because maybe Devin Haney could fight defend it against Luke Campbell. Yeah. What do you see that fight?
It's a real tough one. I don't think I've seen enough of Devin Haney to give a true breakdown. I think I would initially have to say Luke Campbell, and that's not because only because I think he's had tougher pro fights. Obviously, he's fought Linares. I think if that was in the UK and he hadn't had the knockdown, even if he had the knockdown, he maybe would have won that fight. He fought very well, especially his dad dying the week before. He first few rounds against Lomachenko, he looked good, and I thought he looked good pretty much the whole fight. I mean, no one looks good against Lomachenko, but he's big, he's long, he's an Olympic gold medalist. I think from what they've done in their pro career so far, however skilled and however hyped Haney rather. I would say Luke Campbell at the moment, but what a fight that would be.
Yeah. As an Olympian, is from GB Olympians from Pakistan. They said, "Boy, box with game Kash Ashfaq." He's fighting a guy called Joe Ham. I think that's his name, Joe Ham, and I wouldn't expect you to know much about it. It's just on the rising. Super Bantam is going to fight for the WBA Super Continental. Yeah. You know what I'm saying. One of those belts that'll probably put him high on the rankings. That Joe Ham, he's had more. He's only lost once. Lost to a guy called Tyron McLennan, the Irish guy for the Celtic Cup, who's on the golden.
Is that horror? Is that
no.
I'm thinking.
Is it the Tyron McLennan?
No,
they both got some similar.
They're both MTK fighters,
don't
they?
Yeah. Fighters, and so maybe he should win it because obviously he's the Matchroom fighter, he's the ex-Olympian, so.
Is he as good as obviously your amateur boxing connoisseur? You know your amateur boxing. Is he as good as the hype says?
Well, it's just he hasn't done anything stand out. He's a southpaw, so you know what southpaws are like. They're just trying to box on the back foot and just trying to pick you off. So he hasn't done any strong knockouts or anything. He's just
he's technically good,
but
you haven't seen enough enough of a test to know.
Yeah, definitely not. And there's another one that was he was in the Olympics. He's fought again. Hopefully he has a better more competitive fight. Dalton Smith, proper good amateur. I saw him fight in the Nationals a couple of years ago. And he won that, and he was the boxer of the tournament for me. So we'll look forward to. I mean, his dad, you see, he trains the Edwards brothers.
Yeah, the Steel City, very good coach. Did he win? Trainer of the year? I'm not sure if he.
No,
No,
I think
Gallagher won it.
Gallagher won
Gallagher won it again.
Yeah,
I've got he'll be boasting about that for months.
Who do you think is your favourite thing right now?
Favourite
Coach? I mean, the best coach.
the best in the UK or the world?
In the UK.
Do you know what? It's a tough one, but
Okay,
I would have to go.
Yeah.
Obviously, you've got like I love Adam Booth. There's certain coaches who I think there's no wrong answer to this question in my opinion. Well, unless you picked a terrible coach, obviously. But, I'd have to go for Shane McQuiggan. I'd have to go with Shane McQuiggan.
And he's young as well.
He's young. You look at the work he's done with Josh Taylor. Right from him becoming pro.
And Luke Campbell as well.
Yeah, Luke Campbell. Coley the other day was saying that he's like, I can't big up Shane McGuigan enough in terms of the pad work and the training they've done. So yeah, I would have to go with Shane McGuigan. But if you said to me, I don't know, Adam Booth, because you love his style, you love his you love that style, then you can't argue. You can't argue with that. However annoying I find him in press conferences, Gallagher, you probably couldn't argue with that with not Liam. Callum Smith. Sorry. Obviously, Callum Smith, arguably #1 in the world in his weight division. Yeah. So, yeah, a lot of good UK trainers, and even it was a poor performance for Tyson Fury in his last fight, but Ben Davidson. I mean, look what he's done. Look what he's done. But can you say that this year? Because obviously, the Wilder fight was November last year, and he's fought two knockovers, and one of them nearly stopped him. And I think if that was in the UK, that fight
if it was in Fury, the fight would have been stopped.
It would have been stopped.
But the thing I rate about Shane McGuigan is because his sister passed away in between times. Yeah. So for him to have 2 fights at elite level, Luke Campbell
fighting
Lomachenko and
Taylor.
So both of them could have if they both lost, that would have.
And it's the same for
a big thing.
Same for a trainer, same as a fighter in terms of being right in terms of in the right frame of mind, being focused. How he was able to focus himself to do that, big him up. You know what I mean? But do you know what? I see an interview the other day, and he was saying, she would wanted him to do what he did, to go out there, and he did her proud. He did her proud.
Lastly, before we leave, what's your thoughts about Fury?
He's a genius, man. He's a genius, marketing genius.
Gypsy King.
I thought he's the the self-promotion marketing king. I think it's. Yeah, I mean, he can only have boosted his profile. He's made 15 million for something which I'm sure when he signed that contract, obviously we all know that it's everyone knows he's going to win that fight beforehand. He knew he was going to win. He's got more fans. I mean, I'm looking forward to seeing.
No brainer, is there?
Yeah, it's a no-brainer. No-brainer.
Win-win.
Yeah.
And everyone has done it. Mike Tyson involved in wrestling. Muhammad Ali did one.
Yeah.
Mayweather has done it. So
yeah, you can't
follow the money.
You follow the money. You can't go wrong. He's made increased his profile for the next fight. I mean, I don't know why Deontay. Why doesn't Deontay Wilder do stuff like this?
He probably would do, but I'm not worried about. But one thing I'm not gonna have Fury say is like, when he says I don't care about money, I'm like, please, you've got 5 kids at home. You're not gonna throw all your pus into a big ball. Fair enough. He's come out. He's come out from the depression and everything, mental health, what have you, and it's good to see him
happy, doing healthy, doing well, definitely, and bring on the fight next year because my guy.
Well done for that.
Yeah.
And thanks for that. We'll catch you. I don't even know what's next week, but we'll think about that.
I know what's next.
Well, what's next?
A new way. Come on,
my G.
Come
Thursday,
on, next week.
The monster.
The left hook.